All right, so second grade, we are talking about the Wild West, and we are going to create a designed pair of Western boots. Now, how this relates to us here in Tennessee, Nashville is also known for our Western style type of boots. We look at it as more of a piece of art on your feet. But these historically over West, like you guys are talking about in your reading program, cowboys or people who worked outside in that rocky, kind of sandy soil where there's little poisonous snakes and scorpions and lizards and those kinds of things, they had to design shoes to protect their feet. Now these have thicker heels, so it kind of helps break up that soil. They also have, they're made out of leather, which also means that it's nice and tough and it kind of protects you from bites or stings. They also protect part of your leg, which is very important if you're riding a horse to go rope up the cows, or if you're working really hard and you don't want a snake coming up and sneaking up on you and biting you. Now over time, like I said in Nashville, we look at these as more of a design. So instead of just plain brown leather boots or black leather boots, over time, people have sewn in designs. Now, this is important because we're going to talk about symmetry. So where we take something that can be divided equally in half, or looks exactly the same, like as in a mirror image, okay? So this right here, I'm using black crayon, and I'm heating it up by rubbing on the back with either a marker or my handle of my scissors, like a video I showed you on YouTube earlier. This is creating a transfer or a copy onto the other side, which I want a pair of boots, okay? So with this, we're gonna start off with a blank piece of paper, and to create that effect of making a copy, we're gonna fold this in half. So here's my left side. So if my hand makes an L, that means that's my left side. I'm gonna fold this paper over to the left side. And I want to make sure when I fold, it's not uneven. So that means it should be lined up, straight line with straight line. Okay, you want to be careful. You don't want to get a paper cut. So I always try to make sure I hold it while I fold it. So I'm going to hold and press that down really good, almost like I'm ironing it. And I'm going to leave this closed because we're going to start our boot design on this left side of my paper. Okay, so today and today only, we are creating our design of our boot. All right, so I've given you guys some papers that have some different designs to look at, and we're going to talk about what some of those different little symbols mean. But right now we want to get the layout of the boot. So right here on my folded side, remember this is my left, so this would be my right side of my paper. I want to draw a line about down to my knuckle. I'm going to start here and draw a nice dark line. Nice and dark. Because the darker this is, it's going to transfer easier for you guys, so you don't have to work as hard to rub that over. Now I'm going to come out a little bit, maybe the tip of my finger to right about here, and I make a line. So see kind of where my knuckles of my hand are. So for you, it may end up being your sweet little whole hand right there, okay? So then I'm going to come down about also the length. So I'm going to come down and make this line and stop. Now this part is the shaft of the boot. So that's the part that protects the leg. And then it's going to come out and create the toe of the boot. All right, so I'm going to come over here and I'm going to kind of dip down and then back up, and I'm going to curve and just leave it there, okay? Because then we're going to create the heel over here. So right now it just kind of looks like a little rain boot, okay? All right, so then I'm going to come over here and bring this over and then up. And I'm going to make like a little triangle right here. And then bring it on over. We just have a little bit of the sole of the boot. Now at the top, all of these have like little handles because sometimes it's hard to pull on boots over jeans or pants. And so you have these little handles that help, and this nice curve at the top. So that way it doesn't jab into your leg. So I'm going to go ahead and make a rainbow shape at the top from side to side. Nice and dark. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and draw like a little rectangle at the top towards the middle. Okay, so that's going to be my little handle, and we can decorate that later. Down here, right where the toe and the heel and the middle of the boot, just right below, I'm going to go ahead and draw a curved line, kind of like that rainbow. And that's going to be the division, the dividing line between the top, the shaft of my boot, and then where the foot comes in to the shoe, the boot. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a line here in the middle, and that's going to be the seam of my boot. Okay, so that's going to be where the artist or the boot maker, the shoemaker, the cobbler puts together the leather. Okay, so now you get to have fun with all of these different shapes. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and just give you one example and show you how to do the transfer, and then I'll show you that last piece that we started off with. So if I go over here and I put a little design up here at the top. So some of these have these like little scallop designs, okay, and then a big X where they sew the leather. All right, and I might even do some of these like little floral designs if you want to. Some of these look like flowers, like cactus flowers or desert wildflowers or suns, almost kind of like a sheriff badge, or things that kind of look like fire. We've got some fringe. We've got some really cool designs here on this clip art here. So you've even got patterns inside the leather, like if the leather had texture from the cow or ostrich or wherever they got their leather from. So we have a lot of floral designs and things that look like flowers because of how the wild things grow out in the Wild West. Okay, so I'm going to come over here and I'm going to draw like a little feather or a leaf. I won't say that, but I think it's like a feather. Okay, so I have this design, and you can create something else over here. So you might have some other little wild designs. I'm going to do another little feather here. Yeah, we'll just say these are leaves. I think they look more like leaves. They'll just be fancy leaves. Okay, I'm going to come down here, add in those lines for the heel of my boot. I might even add some more lines here just to kind of break up some of the pattern. Okay, now I'm going to show you real quick. I don't want to take the whole time to show you how to draw. So I'm going to open this up, and the point is to get this to transfer here. So once you've completed all the cool designs on your boot, we want to make a matching, like make a set, matching boot. So I'm going to fold this in half the other way, and then either you can use a marker to start rubbing, or you can use the handles of your scissors, whichever is easier for you to use, but of course you need to make sure you're careful with the sharp end. So I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna make sure I'm pushing down. You don't have to push too hard, but I'm gonna push down, kind of get the shape of my boot, because I can kind of see it through this white paper. And I'm holding my paper as I'm doing this because I don't want it to wiggle, because when I open it, it'll match the other side. You'll see kind of like a ghost. Ooh, a ghost kind of fate little print on the other side. So I'm going to go in here, back and forth, almost kind of like you're coloring invisibly. Okay, so then when I open it up, you can see these really faint patterns, and then we'll go back over that with our black crayon. So wherever you didn't see something transfer, you need to go back over in that area on the back and rub that, so that way it transfers onto the back. Okay, so see, that's a lot cleaner line, and you can see that. I can't see much of this right here, so when I fold it, I'm going to go back over that and concentrate on that area. Now I know this is a lot of work, but trust me, this is going to come out amazing because you're making an exact copy of your unique drawing, okay? So once you've learned how to do this, of course it's symmetry, so you're making things equal, you're dividing them in half and then they're the same. But you can also make cool copies of your art pieces. I used to have friends that would ask me to draw something, and then another friend wanted a copy of that. So I just flipped it over, and then I used the crayon, and I could rub and create a little copy to share. So if you're making cards or cool little things for your rooms or decorating, that's something that you could do. All right, so I'm going to keep on going. So then I'm starting to make these copies, okay? So it's important you go ahead and finish one boot. So all you have to do is rub down the entire thing, and then you'll have your pair. So then on here, I'll want to go back over very carefully and complete that design because I want them to be the same, okay? So I'm gonna move that out of the way. All right, so this is what you'll be doing today. So thank you very much, and then we'll be making some beautiful paintings inside of these with some watercolors. So I'm very excited to see some bright colored boots. All right, thanks guys, you're gonna do awesome on this.